Welcome to And I Like Large Parties. Join me as I chat with amazing women business owners in the events industry, some that I've worked with and some that I can't wait to work with. We'll be sipping cocktails while discussing their passions, hurdles, and accomplishments. You're going to love it. Thanks for listening. All right, so I'm sitting down today with Sophia Khan. She owns Sophia Scissorhands. She is a hairstylist. She's amazing. I'm so glad that you took the time today. I know that you were busy. You were, doing hair for a wedding earlier today, and I'm just really glad that we had the chance to find some time today together to connect and sit down and do this because it's been hard to coordinate. So how are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
It's wonderful to have you here. So we know each other because we worked together on a styled shoot. And she actually was in bridal attire, right? She was in a bridal gown and she had done her own hair and everything. And it was a really cool shoot. And then we kind of stayed in touch through Brittany Bench, who was the photographer on that shoot. And since we know Brittany, you and I have become friends through her and through that experience. And then, I remember I was doing that event. We were providing decor for Betsy. She had that big party, and Betsy was talking about her hairstylist, and she mentioned your name, and I was like, wait a minute, I know her. So that was oh my God, small world. And then I had Sophia do my hair for my husband's 50th last year. So you came here, and you made me look, pretty for that event. I always laugh because I think about when I was in the chair, I said to you, oh, just so you know, I have naturally curly hair, but I washed it, and I straightened it for you. And you took one look at my hair and you're like, yes, I know. I can tell. And I was like, yeah, she would tell. She would be able to tell. She's a professional. It was like telling a doctor something that they already can clearly see or know about a patient. It's like, just so you know, my hair is naturally curly. It's not always this straight. So I'm always tickled when I think about that memory.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So today we're having apple mango martinis. And I'm proud of myself because I made these. How do they taste?
Excellent.
It's good?
They're very good.
All right, good. Okay. So speaking of cocktails, I want you to think about a cocktail, or it could be a mocktail. I mean, it could be coffee if that's your vibe. Something that you feel embodies who you are, your personality, or your business. Think about it, and then I will come back to that question at the end.
Okay.
Okay?
Got it.
All right. So we are going to start by you telling people where they can contact you. So give us all of your social media handles, website, all that good stuff.
Okay. So you can find me at sophiascissorhands.com or on Instagram at Sophia_Scissorhands.
Okay. Are you on TikTok?
No.
You don't do the TikTok?
I'm not that cool.
I'm not either, but I'm on there. And it's really just a repeat of everything that's on Instagram. And I shouldn't even say everything. It's a fraction. I started at some point thinking maybe I should get on TikTok. So I started, just kind of moving some things, duplicating things that were on Instagram. And then I was like, forget this. I'm not doing this. I do scroll TikTok, but I really don't have a presence on TikTok. So would you say that Instagram is the main social media that you use to advertise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Okay. Tell me about the name, Sophia Scissorhands. It is so creative. I love it. How did you come up with that?
I just was trying to think of something that would be easy for people to remember.
Yeah.
And then also just playing off the two S's.
Yes.
I was like, easy enough. Seems like people will remember that one.
It's really cool. I love the alliteration.
Yes.
All right. So let's start by telling everybody how you got into this business. I know when I talk to, and I was a teacher and I talk about it a lot. So I know that a lot of us that are in the event space working, this perhaps was not the path that we were always on, that we might have had a different career prior. So what's your story? How did you get here?
So I started doing hair pretty much right out of high school, went to cosmetology school, all that. I was in a salon in Pittsburgh for a few years.
Is that where you're from?
I'm originally from West Virginia.
Okay.
But then from there, I went to school in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, where I did cosmetology. Okay. And then from there, I went to Pittsburgh. And then when I was in Pittsburgh, I was working in a salon, and I was kind of their go-to person for the more formal hair and doing the updos for proms and different weddings and stuff. And I just always liked doing the styling the best over doing cutting or coloring and everything. And then so when I just started to outgrow Pittsburgh a little bit and I decided to come to Philly, I was like, I think I want to just focus in on doing just bridal and formal occasion hair and that type of stuff more than others. I'll still do some cutting and coloring here and there. But bridal was definitely what excited me the most.
Okay.
So when I came here, I just kind of like started to try and like meet different people in the industry and stuff like that and just try and get work where I could.
Mm-hmm.
And I found a couple different like bridal companies and stuff that I would get a few gigs through. And then just slowly over time, it's been just kind of word of mouth.
Yeah.
And I think now I've been doing mostly like bridal freelance work since like maybe like 2015.
Okay.
So yeah, been like a decade.
Tell me about cosmetology school. What was the hardest aspect of that? Did you like burn anybody's hair off, or like it was supposed to be blue and it turned out pink? Like what is that experience like?
Oh my gosh. So
Of course she didn't burn anybody's hair off. Of course she did not.
I mean, I feel like it was definitely nerve-wracking the first time you like work on an actual human as opposed to like your little mannequin head that you're used to using every single day for months on end. But I feel like I've always been like more of a cautious person where I'm like, I don't care if I have to bleach your hair 10 times over. We're going to take it slow.
Yeah.
And so I definitely was like more of a slower worker, slower paced. So, I didn't burn anybody's hair off actually.
Of course you didn't.
But I did get a couple of my girlfriends to come up from my high school in West Virginia to come visit me.
Okay.
And it was on one of our like competition weekends where everybody had to bring in a model and then you do like a cut or a style on them. And then at the end of the day, they judge everybody and like pick first place, second place, whatever, and see like who did the best work in the school. And I had two of my friends there, and one of my friends in cosmetology school didn't know anybody in the area because she was from Florida. And she was like, oh, do you think one of your friends would want to sit for me? I was like, yeah, sure. And I don't think my friend will ever forgive me for this, but my cosmetology friend definitely hacked her hair. No. It was bad.
Oh, boy.
Like, she had to, like, go get extensions and stuff afterward. It was pretty brutal.
Okay.
So that was a little bit of a rough one.
Yeah. And she did not win, obviously.
She did not win. Not that one.
Oh, man. How long do you go to cosmetology school? What's the length of time, the length of study?
So it's supposed to be like right around 10 months. Oh, wow, okay. I think it took me like maybe a little over a year because I was also like trying to like work full time and like pay rent and stuff. So I kind of had to like not go every single day. So it probably took me a little over a year to finish.
So when you go to cosmetology school, I guess you just like, any college post high school education, you get to kind of like decide what you want to like major in, right? Or specialize in? Or do you have to, it's only hair? Or do you get to do makeup as well?
So when you do cosmetology, it's basically everything. So like we had to learn how to do like facials, makeup, manicure, pedicure, and hair.
Oh, wow. All right.
So you have to learn it all, but you don't have to like use it all afterward. Because I was like, I did it just to get through school, but I'm like, I can't do makeup. That was not for me.
Okay. All right. The fact that you travel and you go to people's houses, or you go, like today you were at a venue, I think that's like so cool. I didn't even know that was a thing. When I got married, and this is like, a long time ago, I was like, I'm just going to do my own hair. I just like pulled it up. I was wearing a veil. It was like, that is not how it is today. It is a whole thing. And so I never really had the experience of somebody coming and doing my hair. I knew that girls would go to a salon for the bridal hair, which I think is still a thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I just didn't know that the whole traveling aspect of being in this business, that was even like such a major part of it.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Because, we get to go to cool places. Like, weekend before last, I got to go up to, like, the Finger Lakes.
Okay.
And so, like, I got to stay up there for the weekend and explore the Finger Lakes while I was working a wedding. So that was a ton of fun.
And that's part of the fee, right? If they want you up there, then they have to pay for that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So tell me about your favorite hairstyle. What's your favorite hairstyle to do?
I definitely think right now I'm, like, into the very, like, trendy, the, like, Pamela Anderson, Kim K, like updo, the messy one that's like up high and stuff with like all the like face framing pieces.
All right.
I just think that one is so pretty, so flattering on like literally everybody. Okay. And then it also just, it's going to last all night long.
Mm-hmm. So you have to keep refreshing your supply of bobby pins and hairpins.
Yes. Don't ever look in the trunk of my car. It is just empty cans of hairspray, bobby pins everywhere.
I believe it.
It's dangerous.
Oh my God, that's great. What are some of your, like, since you travel to a lot of venues, what are some of your favorite venues that you've been to?
I would say probably my favorite venue locally would be the Elkins Estate venue.
Yes, isn't that great?
I think it's gorgeous.
I have a wedding there on the 19th.
Oh,
It's the champagne skirt gig, and it's it's a wedding. We did one in April. That was my first time there.
oh my God.
It's so nice.
I love it in there. It's so pretty.
Okay, Elkins Estate. So, do you do anything else while you're doing hair? Like, do you have like a 9 to 5, or like this is it? This is what you do?
Hair is definitely my number one source of income. Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of folks in the events industry. They're working, they're juggling a 9 to 5, and then they're doing the event stuff like not on the side, because it's not a side hustle. Like, it is a hustle, but they're doing that in conjunction with working full-time careers. I know that can be like really challenging. A lot of people that I interview are kind of in that boat, and that's what they do.
Yeah, not a chance.
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
No.
Yeah, it's a lot. How many clients have you had, like, for one wedding? Like, the bride, the mother of the bride, like, how many people are we talking? Like, what's like the largest number you've ever done?
I think the biggest one I did was 14 people.
Wow.
And it was by myself.
Oh my gosh.
I was sweating.
I'll bet. I'll bet. So, like, how long does that take you? That's hours, right?
Oh, yeah. That one I did have to, like, do a little speedier than my
Okay.
usual.
Yeah.
Because usually it'll be, like, 45 minutes to an hour per person. And that one, I think we had to get them out within, like, 30 minutes
Okay.
each. But that one was a unique circumstance where that was kind of like a last-minute scheduling, because I guess the person they originally hired to work
Yeah.
the wedding was, like, going to bring a second person. But then, like, something happened and she, like, I don't know if she was, like, pregnant and then, like, ended up in the hospital or
boy.
something. But they called me, like, panicked, like, a week before.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
were like, what can you do? And I was like, well, I can do everybody. Like, I don't have anybody ready to go next weekend that could come with me. But, like, I'll do it for you if you're willing to wake up early enough. And so I think we got started at like 4 a.m. that day.
Wow. 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It was a lot. And it was out in Lancaster.
Okay.
So I had to be like on the road by like 2 a.m. I was like, ooh,
yeah.
rough day.
That is a rough day. Oh my goodness.
But it went smoothly. Everybody looked great. Everybody was like very happy and accommodating, and
That's
like
awesome.
was like, this is the hairstyle I want. Let's go. Like, everybody was
That's
like
perfect.
ready to hop in the chair and get moving.
Made it easier.
Yes.
Yeah. It's funny you mentioned that. And I mean, that in that instance, it was like somebody had a health issue, but I'm part of these different like Facebook groups. I don't post. I'm just a voyeur. I just like read,
Yes.
And the number of people who are having weddings, special events, who have hired makeup artists or hairstylists, and then for whatever reason, they don't have that person that day because it got canceled. There's a lot, like, that goes on quite a bit. And people are in a panic, and they're on there like, oh my God, my makeup artist canceled on me. Can anybody do my makeup this weekend? So I feel like that, at least around here, it seems like that happens a lot, and people are in a bind. And then people will, which is nice, people will always chime in, and they'll recommend people and tag certain businesses to try to help, get some business for people they know, but also to help out the poor person that's posting. But yeah, I'm always like, that would be, can you imagine that? Like, on your wedding day, oh my God, my makeup artist.
It's so stressful.
Yeah,
but
I would imagine.
It's also, though, sometimes it's like, normal jobs you can call out of whenever you get sick or something. And this is the type of job where it's like, I don't care if you're throwing up in the car on the way here. You're going to get there and you're going to get the job done.
I know.
Like, there's no call outs.
I know.
Like, you have to just do it.
Yep. Yeah. I was walking down the stairs the other night and I missed a step, and I thought to myself, I have an event on Saturday. Like, I can't have a broken ankle, or that was the first thing I thought of.
Right.
Was, oh no, let me just take a minute, make sure I'm okay here, because I have an event next weekend and I can't like be laid up. Like, I need to be able to do the job.
That's what, in winter, whenever people like want to like go hang out and stuff, and I'll be like, does anybody have the sniffles? Is anybody sick?
Right.
I'm not coming.
Right.
I cannot risk getting
That's
ill.
right. That's right. Yeah. Tell me about working alongside of makeup artists, because when you were doing my hair, what was her name? Was it Myra?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Myra. So she was doing my makeup while you were doing my hair, and you were both working on me at literally the same time, which I thought was amazing. Does that happen often?
I feel like typically during a wedding, we will alternate people. So usually you don't work on the same person, but I definitely have quite a few instances where we will work on the same person at the same time.
Okay.
And I feel like it's fun, depending on the makeup artist and hairdresser. Like if we know each other, it makes it much easier just because like we know how to work around each other and just kind of like can already predetermine what the next person's steps are going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I already know what you're going to do. I know after you do this, you're going to move to their blush. So I'm going to move to this side of the hair.
Yeah.
So we know like how to work around each
cool.
other.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like a dance.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me about some challenges just as a woman in business that you have encountered over the years.
Probably. I mean, I feel like this work is super fun. I think sometimes it can be stressful. And I think that is probably one of the bigger challenges is just like, it is such an important day. I promise you, however much the bride is stressing about how she looks, I'm stressing 1,000 times worse and putting that pressure on myself. And so I think that probably is one of the biggest challenges is just sitting there and in my head being like, this is the most important day of her life. Do not mess this up.
Yes.
You have to do a perfect job. Do you know how many pictures there are going to be today? And like, what if it's humid outside and she steps outside and gets a frizz that pokes out? Like, you know, so it is like definitely, I think that's probably the biggest challenge of the job.
How do you manage that stress? Just, this is why when someone hires us to do something for a wedding, usually it's like, you know, a champagne wall or an arch or like a couch. And it's a little stressful because it's somebody's wedding, but I'm able to put it down and I'm like, I leave like, you know, and the pictures will be fine because it's just furniture.
Right.
How do you manage when you're in the niche that you're in where it's all about how the bride looks and the hair holding up and the photos, like you said? How do you manage that stress and that anxiety? Or does that, like, I know some people, it fuels them and they kind of like thrive off of that. Is that you? You're like, no.
No, I feel like I
take shots after. That is not me.
Yeah, I feel like honestly, I just like internalize it a lot and just realize if she sees me looking stressed, then she's going to stress more. So basically, I just kind of like try and put all of my focus onto making sure that they are calm.
That makes sense.
And so I feel like I just like try and be like overly calm and like relaxing vibes. And then it's like when I get home, I'm like, I need to sit in silence for the next 5 hours straight while I just unwind everything that just got tangled up in my brain.
Yeah. You need to like go do yoga.
Yes.
To decompress. Have you ever had someone, you've done their hair, it doesn't even have to be for a wedding, like whatever, and you know, you show them the mirror, you turn them around, big reveal, and they hate it?
I mean, I definitely have.
Okay.
Usually the good thing about that is we do trial runs for weddings.
Oh, okay, good, yeah.
So like
Makes
if
sense.
somebody's not going to like something, we've already gotten that out of the way.
Got it.
And then because also sometimes, you know, you put your own like spin on things and you think that they're going to like it. But also a lot of the trial run is just learning their personal style. Because there's plenty of different hair looks and stuff. And some people like, you know, everybody has different preferences when it comes to style. And it's not that one is right or wrong or anything even. It's just like you have to get to know their personal taste.
Okay.
So I feel like that's usually the biggest thing that you have to nail down.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, once you learn like their style, you could tweak the hairstyles and make it a little different from the picture as long as you understand what they like.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. Yeah, I always get nervous when like I talk to a client and maybe there's a mock-up and I change something just because I make an executive decision because either I don't think it looks right or how I intended to do it. You know, we're doing like a lot of like custom things. It just didn't work out. So I need to pivot. And I find myself always like explaining like, oh my God. And they're like, I don't even care. Like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I didn't notice that you used, you know, a baby blue ribbon instead of a royal blue. I don't even care. But like, I'm like over explaining. Like I start to like stress out about just everybody's happiness and making sure down to the finest detail that they're satisfied with, you know, with me and everything. So yeah, that stresses me out. Talk to me about your favorite hair tools. What are some good brands? I just bought this. I don't even know if this is like good to tell you. I don't know if it's a good brand or not. This Tymo.
Oh, I don't even think I know that brand.
Because it's on TikTok. You gotta get on the ticks and the talks. And it's like a straightener. but at the same time, it's got a fan, so it's cooling the curl, which I hear, and I mean, you would know, obviously, that it helps to like set the curl a little bit.
Yes.
So you can use it as a straightener, and at the same time, you're wrapping the hair around it, and it's also curling it and cooling it. It's all right. Like that's what I mean. Brands that you think are really good that you would recommend.
I do use the Babyliss. I like their like curling irons and stuff. And then I love my Shark hair dryer.
Really?
That one is excellent. I love that. Because I used to be Dyson for the longest, but it kept like breaking every few months. And I kept having to like, and they're expensive. They're very expensive, but also their warranty program is excellent. So they would always just hand me a new one. No questions asked. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't have time to go to the store every few months whenever my dryer decides to quit working in the middle of the day. And I'm like, okay, now what? But so I did switch to Shark, and now I love that one. And I think that, and honestly, I love my little Velcro rollers too, to like set hair whenever I'm like getting people ready for weddings and stuff. Like it definitely makes a big difference whenever you let hair set for a while. Yeah. That, and then I definitely could not live without like the Big Sexy Hair Texture Powder. That stuff is a game changer for like updos and stuff. So
while I have you here, and we've already established that I'm a curly girl, what is the secret to diffusing your curls?
Well, curls are all very temperamental. So I don't think there's any one secret. Everybody's curls are going to need completely different product and completely different processes, I feel like. Because, I feel like anytime, like, what one person does is definitely, there's different types of curl, everything like that. So I think usually the biggest thing with curls, though, is just, like, putting product on when the hair is, like, soaking wet. Yeah. Like, you don't want to let that air dry at all with no product. You just want to make sure it's soaking wet when you're producting it.
So what makes a difference more in, like, having great hair? Is it the products you use, or is it, like, the styling tools? It's probably the products, right?
It could be the styling tools too, just because if you have the good ones, you can set your temperature preferences and it's going to be like accurate readings. Whereas if you're using a not as nice of a tool, the temperature readings might be inaccurate, or they might not even have temperature settings and they just say low, medium, high. And you're like, what temperature is that?
Right.
So I do think that makes a difference just in the sense of you being able to control it more.
All right. True story, right? I think I was I was like I was probably like 13 or 14. I'm getting ready for something. And this was like the days of like Aquanet. Like, I mean, late 80s, right?
Yes.
So like really heavy stuff. Bangs. Top one got curled up. Bottom one got curled down. It looks ridiculous. Like, but that's how we wore it. My hair was not like freshly washed. So I already had like hairspray probably from the day before. I put some more hairspray, take the curling iron, because, you know, we like to hear the sizzle. We knew it was working by the sizzle. I curled my bottom bang. I go to take the curling iron away from my bang. My hair is, my bangs are on the curling iron. That literally burned off my hair right here. So I had just the top bang going up, no bottom bang, because it was stuck on the curling iron. Yeah, that's a true story.
I was scared that that's where the story was going when you mentioned the Aquanet and the curl. I was like, oh no.
So I do like having, you talk about temperature, I like having the tools that I can put it on 280 if I want, or, you know, 400. So yeah, that high, medium, low.
It's not going to cut it.
No. I don't buy tools that have that, just because that lesson from when I was 13, it has stayed with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You only can make that mistake once.
No, yep, not doing that again. Talk to me about customer service. So what do you think are some aspects of, you know, just like you and what you bring to the table in terms of customer service that keep people coming back and, you know, recommending you?
I think one of the things I've had like a lot of brides tell me and stuff is you were so relaxing to be around and just like had such like a calming energy and stuff. And I think that's one thing that like definitely makes a difference. Cause well, and some people like more the high energy people too. Like there's definitely plenty of hairdressers and makeup artists that are more high energy. It just depends what people are looking for. But I definitely am more of one of the quieter, calmer ones. That, and then I also think the other reason people call me like, because there are a lot of like, you know, bridal beauty businesses out there and stuff where there's so many talented people around the Philly area and surrounding areas. But I do know a lot of them are companies. So sometimes when they get hired, you don't know which person you're getting. Whereas like if you hire me, like I'm 1000% going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
There's nobody else. Like, it will be me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's also nice for people too. And they know like, okay, this is the person I'm hiring, not just a faceless company.
What would you say are some tips that you would give to people that are planning to get into this aspect of the events space? Things that you know now that maybe served you really well, things that you had done at the beginning that have served you well, or things that perhaps you would go back and you would change just because, you know, you've been doing this for a long time, and if you could do it all over again, you would do it this way.
Yeah, I think I definitely would like go back and would have probably like worked harder to network more in the beginning, because I feel like I definitely like am not great at that.
Yeah.
The like schmoozing and networking.
Yeah.
That's not really my vibe. But it definitely does help. And then like, you know, then you actually make friends in the industry too, which is great. And now like I love these people. But yeah, it is hard to like get past that like networking barrier and all that. And I think that's definitely something I would have done different. But I think the other thing too is I would say if you want to do it, you got to go all in. I do see a lot of people who like, you know, where this is just like supplemental income or something. But if you want it to be your full time, I don't think it's possible to have a full time job. You just kind of have to like put your head down, do the work, and like just show up and be consistent and reliable. Make sure you're showing up early to every wedding, like just reliability more than anything, I think.
That word consistency, I listen to other business podcasts. Consistency is the word that comes up so often when people are talking about success in business. You know, whether it's consistently showing up, you know, early, consistently networking, consistently keeping your finger on the pulse of trends. Just that word consistency in any manner that it fits, you know, your business, I think is really important.
Oh, yeah.
At least that's what I hear.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, I know. Because it can be so tempting whenever you're like working for yourself to just be like, I could cancel that appointment today and go to the beach. I could meet my friends at the bar. Yeah. And even my friends and family would be like, okay, so just cancel it. Do the work another day. And I'm like, in event work, there's no such thing as canceling and doing it another day. Or also, if you put things off, then you're too busy down the line and then you can't get around to it. So it's just like, you just have to show up for everything. Yeah. Like, there's really no excuses, or else it's just like, all it takes is a couple people here that you like didn't show up for this and that, and word spreads. Oh yeah, like, it does. Word of mouth is so powerful because I am horrible at social media. I don't post. I don't go on it nearly as much as I should. I hate it. So word of mouth is literally what keeps me afloat personally. Yeah. Like I don't want to have to resort to social media. So I want my word of mouth to still be good.
It's so important. It really is. Those recommendations and those repeat clients.
I had this one girl that I did probably like 6-7 years ago, something like that. And she hired me to do her engagement party hair. And she was like, yeah, my hairdresser for the wedding couldn't do today. She was like, so I needed to find somebody. And she was like, and your name came across somehow from someone. And I was like, oh, great. And so I did her hair for that. And then she loved it so much. She was like, wait, can you come to the wedding also? And she's like, I'm going to have my girl still do my hair, but we do need a second person to do everybody else. Do you want to like come and do some of the other people? And I was like, absolutely. And then from there, I met the people in her bridal party. And since then, the one friend had me go to Pittsburgh, do her wedding. Another had me go to Erie to do her wedding. And so like all the people in that bridal party have since used me. And now we're moving on to their baby showers and stuff. And it's like just one appointment, showing up for that one appointment can get so many leads. So many more. And now these girls are the sweetest people. Like it is also nice then because you know more what clientele you're getting too when you are doing referral business. Yeah. Because you're like, oh, these people liked me. I loved them. Like their friends are going to be similar. So like I know we're going to get along and like mesh well. So it is fun to get referrals too because it's just like, you know what you're in for. Yeah. And you know you're going to have a good day. So like as a business owner, what do you think? Like what's your biggest insecurity? Let's start with the biggest thing that you're confident about. Let's start with that. Something that you're bringing to the table, something that you know, consistently do that you're like, damn, I'm really good at this and I'm always good at it. And then let's segue into something that you think is like an insecurity that you have. Maybe you think you're not good at it, but you really are. That sometimes happens. Yeah, I think probably, I guess the biggest thing that I think I'm good at, I think would really just be like, I know I'm reliable. And like, I do think in like art, industry and stuff, like some people do like flake out a bit because they just like, sometimes people get burnt out or whatever, or just have emergencies and stuff. But I do feel like that I definitely am like reliable. I try and answer my phone quickly when clients reach out to me and stuff. If they reach out through social media, it might be a little slower than texting, but I still get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my biggest insecurity would definitely be like my marketing skills.
Okay.
Like the social media, the networking, all that stuff. I do feel like I'm definitely not good at that one bit. And it's true. I'm not good at it. It's not just that I think I'm not. I'm not.
I'm not like, yeah, you're not. I'm just like, yeah, like I understand that. I had somebody on recently and she was talking about the importance of marketing, and she comes from a marketing background, graphic design background, but I mean, it's related because, people that hire her for graphic design, I mean, they're doing it because they need those assets for marketing, right?
Yes.
So, she was talking about the importance of taking a marketing class. She was saying like everybody should take just like even at like a community college, like an online course, a certificate program, something. So talking to her, it's got me thinking about it. I'm like mulling it over in my head because my marketing really consists of posting on Instagram. I mean, that's all I got.
You're doing better than me then.
And I mean, I hear that that's not what you're supposed to be. Like all of your eggs should not be in that basket, but that's kind of, and keeping my website, I guess.
Yeah.
I try to keep it up to date, but I mean, it's the word of mouth, really. The recommendations, I feel that's what's bringing in the business.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just food for thought about the marketing thing that she was talking about. So I don't know. We'll see. So when you're doing a whole bridal party, like, do you have, how does that work? So like, how do you remember who gets what hair? Do you have like a printed out picture of it, or are you looking at your phone for like the inspo? What is it?
Everybody, so the only person who has like predetermined hair that we have discussed and I have seen is the bride.
Okay.
Any other party member will just be like, they'll come up and show me their inspo on the spot.
Oh gosh.
Yes.
Okay. That seems really stressful.
Oh my. It can be a little bit because sometimes they'll have pictures of just like unrealistic things.
Right,
like,
I was going to say.
I have chin length hair and maybe 10 strands of hair on my head. But here is this woman with hair down to her butt and 9,000 pounds of hair. And that's the picture that's my inspo. And I'm like, well, it's going to look a little different on you.
Right.
A little teeny tiny different. But what if we maybe like pivot and do something like this because we know it's going to hold in your hair all day.
Yeah.
And I think you just have to spin things a little to be like, this is going to last longer. And,
thinking about like somebody with like curly hair like mine, I want it to be poker straight. I don't care that it's 103 degrees out. That's the kind of like situation where you're like, well,
yeah,
certain situation, Mother Nature is going to take its course. And this in an hour is not going to look the way that it does right now when you're in this chair. So the fact that you can kind of like massage it a little bit and say, hey, why don't we, it's going to look a little different, or why don't we try this kind of, spin on it? I would imagine that's a really important skill to have.
Or if somebody is like you're saying, you have curly hair and you're dead set on having it straight, I'll be like, tell you what, we'll do your hair first then. And let's see how it holds up until I finish.
Yeah.
And then once I'm done with everybody, we'll come back to you and see if you need a touch up. You might come back to them and they'll be like, you were right.
You know what?
It didn't hold.
Pull this up.
Let's go up. And it's like, okay. Yeah.
Let's go up for the 103 degrees today.
Yes.
That makes sense. If you could be doing anything else, if you weren't doing this, what would it be?
There's probably two things, which one of the things I mildly started doing, which is this year I did purchase a food truck.
Oh.
But I've only opened it up once so far.
What? Tell me about that.
So I got this food truck and it's called Smelly Hannah's.
Oh my gosh.
And so basically where I grew up in West Virginia, one of the things that grows down there is called ramps.
Okay. What's that?
A lot of people don't know what ramps are. That's very local to West Virginia, but it is basically like a wild leek. So it's like a cross between garlic and onion. So it's very pungent in smell. So that's where the name Smelly Hannah's comes from, because you'll smell ramps from a mile away. They're very pungent. And so I just, make some food on there and sold that. But so far I've only been legal to open in West Virginia. I'm working on Pennsylvania
okay.
still.
So you've taken the food truck to West Virginia and used it there.
Yeah.
So what kind of food are you serving?
So we did ramp guai chais, which are like Thai style like dumpling cake. but usually they're made with like scallions. So I just kind of like switched it up and did it with ramps.
Okay.
And then also made like ramp caviar.
Wow.
And then curried ramp rangoons. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So what made you want to do that?
So actually, growing up, the Ramp Festival was in my hometown for my entire life growing up. And it was my older sister Hannah's favorite thing. And she loved the Ramp Festival, loved ramps. And then she had passed away in
I was going to say, you said love.
2021.
Oh, no, I'm so sorry.
Yeah. So then this was kind of just like a little thing I did, like a little tribute thing
I love
to her. And I definitely want to bring it up to Pennsylvania. I'm still working on the legal side.
Okay.
But yeah.
I love that. And I love that it pays homage to your sister.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to Google this. I want to see these ramps.
Oh my God. Well, this is a ramp.
Let me see. Oh.
Yeah.
She's showing me a tattoo. Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah.
I learned something new today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. That's so cool.
But the other thing I would do would be interior decorating.
Really?
I love interior
Do
decorating.
you?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
When I bought my house in 2020 and I have just gone wild on that thing.
Tell me, like, what have you done in there? Like, what are some of your favorite projects?
Well, I redid like the kitchen floor and then honestly just like painting every
it makes such a
inch
difference
of the house.
Yeah.
Because when I'm like I think that was the biggest thing was when I was renting, I'm like white walls everywhere I've ever lived. And I was just so sick of it. Every room in my house is a different color. And it's just so fun to play around with it and just like hang as much art as possible on the walls. Now that I can actually put holes in the walls,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, there's art on every inch of this house.
That's great.
Yes.
It's so funny because when we moved into this house and we've been in here, we were talking before the podcast started, like almost 20 years, I painted a lot of the rooms myself. Some of the ceilings are like really high, so I had to have like somebody come in.
Yes.
But I mean, it was like this was 2006, excuse me. So various shades of like beige.
Yes.
So, I mean, a lot of like brown and beige. And now over the last year or two, I've been painting everything white. So my husband is funny. He's like, so basically you're turning everything back into what it looked like when we moved in here because everything was white. I'm like, yeah, but I just want to use pops of color in the artwork that's on the walls or in the furniture. Like, I want to get away from the brown and the beige. So I just figure like white is just a very plain medium to work with. And then I can be funky with the actual like decor in the room. That's a little bit more like my thing. So, so what's next for you? Like, do you think with the food truck that you would do just that and not the hair, or like where's your passion?
I don't think I could do just that.
Okay.
I don't think I could ever do just one thing, to be honest. Yeah, I always like to have my hands in all the different baskets and stuff. Yeah, 'cause a little of everything. I just like to keep things interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. 'Cause yeah, right now. And then I host an annual retreat every year also.
I saw something about but I didn't really know what it was. Tell me about that.
So that is also something I do. I host a grief retreat every year. So that was something obviously that formed from losing my sister because I was looking for a retreat to attend. And then I could never find one to go to that like wasn't costing thousands of dollars. And I was like, I had to take off months of work. Therapy's so expensive. How am I going to spend thousands of dollars to go to these retreats and all that? And I was like, for the same thousands of dollars, what if I just put it towards like finding a space here and starting to host one? Because there's no way I'm the only person that needs this. Like, we're all human. We're all going to deal with that at some point or another. There's no way I'm the only person. So then I just found this campground, which actually probably isn't too far from here. It's in like Darlington, Maryland.
Okay.
I have that space blocked out like one weekend out of the year, and we all just get together over there and do a big grief retreat with a bunch of different, like, we have therapy sessions there, and then we do like massage and Reiki and sound bath and like breath work and all types of different stuff. And so that's super fun. So then throughout the year, I'll throw like different little like fundraising events and stuff. So just a little of everything, because I feel like I definitely get like bored and burnt out kind of easily. So I'm like, if I'm ever like feeling like, oh, hair's starting to like bore me a little bit, I'm like, all right, let me just do a weekend of like cooking or throw a fundraiser and like redirect my energy. And then I'll come back to doing hair like refreshed and ready to go. So it's just kind of like, you kind of got to give yourself a break from things. Because I do feel like that's the difference is like a lot of people I've noticed like don't love their work. like they like dread going to work. They're like, I hate my job. I hate everything. And I could never work in a situation like that. But because my hobbies are things that I love and do for work, you can get burnt out on them, even though you love them. So it is, I feel like, important to have like multiple different like little things to get involved in.
Yeah. That's so cool. And you do that, the retreat is once a year? Okay.
Yeah.
So do you plan to like, just hypothetically, is the goal to maybe offer that more than once a year? Or like, are you good with the once a year?
I think I could do twice a year realistically if I learn how to fundraise better.
Okay. That comes back to the networking piece.
Yes. The thing I'm worst
marketing
at.
and the networking.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think if I could get better at that, I would like to do it probably twice a year, but that is absolute maximum I could handle of that because it's a lot of organization.
Yeah.
And then it is just like emotionally draining.
Yeah.
And stuff. I mean, it's also like emotionally refreshing at the same time too.
Yeah. But it's a lot.
It is. So
give me some people that you feel have just like been important in your life or like inspirational that have helped you kind of get to where you are today.
Few people that have been like inspirational to me and helpful was growing up. My boyfriend's mom, she was always the sweetest woman to me for no reason because I was just a teenager and I was maybe a little bit of an asshole, but she like, gave me a job and like let me work for her and stuff. And then when it came time to like go to hair school, she like, helped me pay my tuition to get in and stuff. And just really like, she was a woman who like, she raised her like kids mostly on her own for like, she was single at the time and stuff. And like, yeah. So I just thought like she was really inspirational and just like really like helped to like help other people get ahead too. Like she never was the type where she made money because she did end up being very successful and like she's excellent at what she does. And, in my town, she was like the number one like CPA in town and stuff. And so like she definitely like made good money and stuff, but she never was like stingy. She was always just like wanting to help people and would like hire people who like, other people would be like, oh, they're bad kids or something like that. And she would like give them a chance, which was really nice. And so I think she was definitely very inspirational.
Did you do something that was in Vogue?
I did do one wedding that was in People magazine.
People, that's what it was. Tell me about that.
That one was super fun. And I also had no idea it was going to be in People until the morning of.
Wow.
And that was one of the times I had to show up to work severely ill.
Oh.
And so.
Yeah, but it's good you did.
Yes. I showed up not knowing it was going to be in People.
Yeah.
Had I known it was going to be in People, I don't know. I probably would have like called somebody for backup and been like, can you please just like prop me up while I'm working? Because I do feel like I definitely like, I think everything turned out great. But in my mind, I was like, this is not my A100 like effort because like, I just like, I had zero voice. Yeah. I couldn't speak. So I felt like maybe they think I'm being rude or something. So I just like wasn't sure how I was like coming across. Yeah. And like, so yeah, I think that one was a tricky one because it was definitely like one of the bigger weddings I've done. But I also had zero voice and was dying on the inside. So
yeah, that's pretty exciting though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely be like, oh, my work was featured in People magazine. Yeah, that's like super cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. All right. So food truck, that's on the horizon.
Yes.
You've got the grief retreat plus your job, your career.
Yeah.
As a hairstylist. You have a lot going
All
on.
Fun stuff.
It is fun stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me like your top 3 professional products.
I'd say top 3 definitely.
I'm going to use you like a Google search right now.
Definitely the Big Sexy Hair powder play.
Okay.
That stuff, amazing. And then also, I really love the Rusk weightless hairspray. I'm like, I feel like it like is still like somewhat touchable. You can layer it without it like caking up too much. So that I really like. Not as like your final spray. It's not going to be like your lock-in hairspray, but it's definitely your like workable hairspray.
Gotcha.
And then also I would say the Matrix like spray wax. It's a nice finisher just to really help with like the frizzies and stuff like that when you're doing an updo. It just
spray
helps
wax.
Like, yes.
I'm going to I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to try that.
You would benefit. Curly haired girls definitely like if you're like
wax.
straightening your hair and you like tend to get a little flyaways or some frizzies, that seals everything pretty nicely.
All right. Best drugstore shampoo and conditioner.
I would say your best bet's probably going to be like anything L'Oreal.
Okay.
Because L'Oreal does also have like a professional line. So usually their like drugstore products are pretty decent too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's really helpful. Got some good tips. I got some good tips today on hair
There we
care.
go. Yes.
That was my ulterior motive the whole time. So that I could get the hair care tips.
Yes.
Love it. All right, let's circle back to the question that I asked you at the beginning, which is what would be a signature cocktail, mocktail that you feel embodies who you are or, your brand, your business? What would that be?
All right. I would say maybe like a nice pet nap wine because it's very natural.
Mhm.
I'm from West Virginia. I enjoy the outdoors. I'm a
Okay.
pretty natural girl. But it is still sparkling.
Okay.
So, gotta have those sparkles in there. So,
All right.
yeah.
I like that. Sounds good. All right, so remind everyone how they can contact you.
You can find me at sophiascissorhands.com or on Instagram at Sophia_Scissorhands.
Okay. And if someone were interested in your grief retreat,
Yeah.
do you have a social media page for that?
I do.
Okay.
That has a website. It's called griefhealingretreat.com
Mhm.
or also on Instagram at griefhealingretreat.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. Well, thank you so much for
Yeah.
sitting down with me.
Of course.
I'm going to come around for a cheers.
Yay.
I have nothing left in my glass, but that's okay. It's bad luck not to cheers. All right, let's drink to food truck success
Yes.
and success with the grief retreat and hairstyling.
Yeah. Thank
career.
you.
Right.